nominal T and nominal pi is for medium transmission line, and equivalent T and equivalent pi for long transmission line. That means the long transmission line is represented in the form of equivalent T network as well as equivalent pi network. Okay. All right. Upon completion of this topic, you can represent the transmission line, long transmission line by equivalent T and pi networks. And also we will do one problem. Okay. We can solve the numerical problem which is related to the transmission. Right. Let us see the equivalent pi representation of a long transmission line. Okay. As I said in the previous class, while analyzing the long transmission line, you have to consider the network to be distributed. Okay. So in case of medium and short, we were considered it as a lumped network. Okay. But for analyzing the long transmission line, you must and should consider the long transmission line as a distributed network, and you have to analyze by using the rigorous solution that we were discussed in the previous lecture. Now the same network, same transmission line network. So let us represent in equivalent pi model. Okay. So the long transmission line we are going to represent in a equivalent pi network. Okay. All right. So here this is the equivalent pi network for a transmission line. Okay. So you will be having a series impedance. So that series impedance is represented with Z dash and shunt admittance. Right. So the capacitance of long transmission lines will also be divided into two parts, and are lumped at the one receiving end and one other sending end. Right. Shunt admittance, let us call it Y dash by 2. Right, at sending end as well as receiving end. Right. While discussing the medium transmission line, we are also developed the nominal pi method. Okay, nominal pi network. So there in nominal pi network, so these series impedance is represented with the Z, and here we were represented with Y by 2. So shunt admittance is Y by 2 here, and here Y by 2. Okay. Now for this network, we were developed the voltage and current equations, right? So sending end voltage and sending end current both are represented in terms of receiving end voltage and receiving end current. Okay. So by using by applying KCL and KVL, so we were determined the two equations, so which are Vs and Is. Those Vs and Is are in terms of VR and IR. Okay. So you have to do the same procedure again here, and those Vs and Is you have to represent it in matrix form, right? From the nominal pi network, right? So as we have done already for these voltage and current equations, sending in voltage and receiving current voltage, I'm directly using the equations here. Okay. So this is the nominal pi in case of medium transmission line. Now you are going to discuss about the equivalent pi model for long transmission line. Okay. So this is for a long transmission line. Okay, for long transmission line, here the series impedance is called as Z dash, not Z. Okay, so in case of nominal pi, it is Z. So now in case of long transmission line, here equivalent pi network, so we will call it as a Z dash. And in similar manner, in long transmission line network, in equivalent pi model, you have the shunt admittance as Y dash by 2. Here in nominal pi, it is Y by 2. Okay. Now, if you write the sending end voltage and current equation, and if they are represented in matrix form, you can represent like this in equation 1. So here Vs and Is is the sending end voltage and sending end current, which are in the matrix form. So those two are represented in terms of VR and IR, the receiving end voltage and receiving end current. And here ABCD matrix is this one. So A is equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 Y dash Z dash, and B is Z dash, and C is Y dash into 1 plus Y dash Z dash by 4. D is 1 plus Y dash Z dash by 2. So how you got this equation, ma? So this is from the medium transmission line, right? For the medium transmission line network, we were already developed the equation, and those equations are represented in the matrix form. I'm directly using those equations. Okay. So directly using this is actually developed for a medium transmission line network. Okay, so but the only difference here is that, so here in equivalent pi model we call it as z dash and y dash. So there these two are z and y. Okay, so in place of z and y we are going to substitute the z dash and y dash, right? Okay, now so according to the exact solution of long transmission line, which we were discussed in the previous class, right? This sending end voltage and the receiving end sending end current. So these two are expressed in terms of matrix form as like this: cos gamma L Zc sin gamma L 1 by Zc sin gamma L cos gamma L, so into VRIR. Okay, so this is for exact solution. Okay, so this equation we were developed in the previous lecture. Okay, Vs and Is in terms of VR and IR for a long transmission line. So this is the exact solution. Okay, now for exact equivalence, now you have to compare 1 and 2 equations. Okay, so you have 1 and 2 equations. See here, this is first equation, which we are getting from nominal pi network. Okay, now these two are for the exact solution. Now you compare both two, right? So when you compare both two equations, this 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 is equal to cos gamma L. Okay, so 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 is equal to cos gamma L, as well as z dash here, z dash is equal to this Zc into sin gamma L. Okay, right? So from the first and second equation, we are comparing A and B parameters. For A, 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 is equal to cos gamma L, and for B, which is z dash is equal to Zc sin gamma L. Okay, now you consider the third equation. Let it call it as the third and fourth equation, and consider third equation. Here, what is Zc, ma? So Zc here is the characteristic impedance of the transmission line, so which is equal to square root of z by y. Okay, so this is also we got in the previous lecture itself, and also this is the characteristic impedance, and also we got another parameter which is gamma. So gamma here is the propagation constant, which is represented as under square root small yz. Okay, small yz or zy also you can see. Okay, so these two we were got in the previous lecture itself. Okay, you have to remember these two. This is characteristic impedance, this is propagation constant. Okay, right. So by considering the third equation, so in place of Zc, you are going to substitute this. So square root of small z by small y. So what is small z and small y values? Small z is the impedance of the transmission line per unit length, not total impedance. Okay, small z is the impedance of the transmission line per unit length, and small y is the admittance of the transmission line per unit length. Okay, and capital Z and capital Y are the total impedance and total admittance of the transmission line. Okay, right. In place of Zc in third equation, you are going to substitute under square root small z by small y into sin h gamma L. Okay, so now for this equation, numerator and denominator will be multiplied by gamma L. Okay, so I'm simply multiplying this total term by into gamma L by gamma L. That means if both get cancelled, you will get the same. Okay, so I'm taking gamma L by numerator and denominator both are multiplied by gamma L. Okay, not both sides, only one side only. Right, what is gamma L here? So gamma L. So in place of gamma, we can write the square root of yz. Okay, in place of gamma, right? This gamma, you are writing root yz into L. So then what is the remaining thing? This sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay, so these we are keeping in a bracket. Okay, so now here you are having these two. Now if you write those two in one single square root, then under square root small z by small y into yz you will get. So yy will get cancelled, you will get z square. So the value is small z only. Okay, So small z into this L, you will get small z into L, and then you will have sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay, sorry. So here in place of gamma, they were written square root of yz, but not required. You can write simply gamma L only. Okay. Right. So what is this small z into gamma L? Small z is the uh, impedance per unit length. Okay. So if you multiply this with total length of the transmission line, you will get the total impedance Z. Okay. Small z into L is called the capital Z, which is the total impedance of the transmission line. Okay. So Z into sin gamma L by gamma L you will get. Okay. So this is Z dash. Okay. Right. If you observe the diagram here, nominal pi network here. Okay. So we are representing the long transmission line in terms of equivalent pi network, but not nominal, equivalent pi network. Okay. So the long transmission line, when you represent in a non-equivalent pi network, so we were considered the series impedance as Z dash. Okay. So now you got the value of Z dash here. So what is the value of Z dash? So this Z dash is equal to Z into sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay. Let us call it as equation number 5. Right. Now you got the Z dash. Now you have to calculate the Y dash by 2. Okay. So in the equivalent pi network, you got the Z dash. Now let us calculate the Y dash by 2. Right. So now for calculating Y dash by 2, you take the fourth equation. So which is by comparing first and two equation, you got the fourth equation, which is 1 plus Y dash Z dash by 2 is equal to cos h gamma L. Okay. You take that equation. Right. Now substitute Z dash, which is calculated from equation 3 in equation number 4. Okay. So Z dash value. So Z dash value we were calculated here. Sorry. Z dash, this value, which is in equation number 3. You have to substitute the equation number 4. So then what you will get? 1 plus 1 by 2 Y dash. In place of Z dash, you will get ZC into sin h gamma L, which is equal to cos h gamma L. Okay. So this equation we are writing here. 1 plus Y dash by 2 into ZC sin h gamma L is equal to cos h gamma L. Okay. So now only Y dash by 2 you write. Okay. We require Y dash by 2. So that Y dash by 2 is equal to cos h gamma L. This one, if you take this side, you will get cos h gamma L minus 1. And this one also you have to get here. So cos h gamma L minus 1 by ZC into sin h gamma L you will get. Okay. So then from this equation, so what is this cos h gamma L minus 1 by sin h gamma L? So this value, according to trigonometric equation, you can write it as cos h gamma L. Okay. So I think in tan 2 theta, so tan 2 theta is equal to tan h2 theta, right? H theta by 2 minus sin 1 by sin h sin h theta by 2, like it you will get, I think so. Right? By using this trigonometric equation, you can write this. Okay. So in place of tan h gamma L by 2. Okay. So this is from the trigonometry. We are writing this cos h gamma L minus 1 by sin h gamma L as the tan h gamma L. Okay. So Y dash by 2 is equal to tan h gamma L by 2 by ZC. Okay. So now this equation also I am going to multiply numerator and denominator by gamma L by 2, gamma L by 2. Okay. Now you take this as outside. So which is tan h gamma L by 2 by gamma L by 2 and keep it in a square bracket. So then what is the remaining? Under square root Y by Z. So now here in place of ZC, so ZC actually is equal to under square root Z by Y. And what is 1 by ZC? So then 1 by ZC can be written as under square root small y by small z. Okay, in place of 1 by ZC, you can write this value. Okay, small underscore root small y by Z. Okay, so now you are having another term, this one, gamma L by 2 also. Okay, so underscore root small y by Z into gamma L by 2 you are having. Okay, so now here in place of gamma, again you substitute root yz. Okay, so gamma here is nothing but root yz. So root yz into L. Okay, so now you take these two in here, one single square root, then square root of small y by z into yz. So z we can cancel, and y square you have. So that y square root you take, then you will be having only y, right? So y into L. Okay, so y into L by 2 you will. Okay, here you are having gamma L by 2. So only this gamma, if you substitute square root of yz, so then this total you will get y. So the yl by 2 you are having. So that is what is yl. Small y is shunt admittance per unit length. So now if you multiply this with L, you will get capital Y, which is the total admittance. Okay. So now if you take by 2 here also you will get by 2. So small yl by 2 can be written as capital Y by 2. Okay. So you are getting y dash by 2 is equal to y by 2 into tan h gamma L by 2. Okay. So you got the second term in equivalent pi network also, y dash by 2. Okay. So you are calculated both ways. So this z dash is equal to, so z into sin h gamma L by gamma L. So for this, this is equal to y by 2, y dash by 2 is equal to y by 2 into tan h gamma L by 2 by gamma L by 2. So in this, you know all the parameters. So capital Z and capital Y is the total admittance, so total impedance and total admittance. And small gamma is the propagation constant, which is equal to square root of yz, and L is the length of the transmission line. Okay. So like this, you can represent the long transmission line by using equivalent pi network. Okay. Right. Here you have to observe some of the important terms, right? So as I said before, this is the equivalent pi network for long transmission line. Now if you compare this with the nominal pi, so nominal pi you will be having here z, and here shunt parameters are y by 2, and here also y by 2. Okay, so this is the nominal pi. Okay, so nominal pi for medium transmission line, and this is this network is for long transmission line equivalent circuit. Okay, you can call it as long transmission line equivalent circuit, which is represented in the form of pi network. Okay, so now here this is a z dash. This z dash value is equal to small z, capital Z into sin h gamma L by gamma L. Right. So now if you compare these two networks, okay, if you compare these two networks, nominal pi and equivalent pi, so then what you can say? So the value of z dash is equal to sin h gamma L by gamma L times the z value. Okay, you mute your audio. Right. So if you compare these two networks, here in nominal pi you are having z, and in equivalent pi you are having z dash. So this z dash value is z into sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay, so this is the value. Okay, so now this term sin h gamma L by gamma L is the factor by which the series impedance of the nominal pi must be multiplied to obtain the z dash parameter of equivalent pi. Okay, so if you are having if you are having z value, impedance value for nominal pi network, so then you can calculate the z dash value for equivalent pi. Okay, so to calculate equivalent pi z dash value, so that z must be multiplied with this term, this factor, which is sin h gamma l by gamma l. Okay, so in a similar manner, if you compare for center admittances also, here you are having y by 2 and here you are having y dash by 2. So that y dash by 2 value is y by 2 into tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. So now this is the factor. So this is this tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. So this is the factor you have to multiply with, is the factor by which the center admittance of the nominal pi must be multiplied to obtain the center parameter of of the equivalent pi. So that means if you want to calculate y dash by 2, so which is the parameter in center parameter in equivalent pi. So if you know the center parameter of nominal pi, which is y by 2, so now this y by 2 you have to just simply multiply it with the one constant term k, that k value is equal to tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. Okay, so that means if you are having nominal pi network, you can calculate the equivalent pi for long transmission. Okay, so in nominal pi network, you will know the z and y by 2. Now if the z is multiplied by sin h gamma l by gamma l, so then you will get the z dash parameter of your equivalent pi. Right, in a similar manner, if you multiply capital Y by 2 of nominal pi network with tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2, so then you will get the y dash 2 parameter of, that means center parameter of your equivalent pi network. Okay, right. So what I want to say is, if you know one network, you can calculate the another network. For nominal pi network, if you know, so then you can calculate the equivalent pi. Okay, so equivalent pi is for long transmission line and nominal pi is for medium transmission line. Okay, right. Now again you represent the long transmission line in terms of equivalent T network now. Okay, previously we were discussed about the equivalent pi representation of long line. Now let us see how you can represent the long line by using equivalent T network. Okay, so the procedure is similar to the previous case, right? So in equivalent of T representation of long transmission line also, you have to consider z dash by 2 as the two series impedances, z dash by 2, z dash by 2. In the middle, you will be having shunt admittance y dash. Okay, so this is the equivalent T network for transmission line. Okay, so if you take nominal T, so nominal T network, so which is for medium transmission line, so then you will be having, so z by 2, and here we will be having y. Okay, so this is the nominal T network, which is for medium transmission, and this network is the long transmission line equivalent to T network. Okay, so long transmission line which is represented in the form of equivalent T network. Okay, so now here in the previous case also we were comparing these two. The similar procedure you have to follow in this case also. Okay, so here also if you develop the voltage and current equation, right? So now the sending end voltage and sending end current, so you can represent in terms of receiving end voltage and receiving end currents. Okay, so now if those are represented in matrix form, you will get this equation. Okay, VSIS is equal to, so 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 in z dash into 1 plus y dash z dash by 4, y dash 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 into VRIR. Okay, so this is from nominal T method. Okay, actually from this network you have to develop the equation. Okay, but I am already developed the equations for nominal T network, so I am directly using those equations here. Okay, for nominal T, if you represent VSIS in terms of VRIR, you will have 1 plus YZ by 2. In place of Y dash Z dash, you will be having YZ. Okay, 1 plus YZ by 2. Here you have Z into 1 plus y dash z dash yz by 4. Here you have y and 1 plus yz by 2 will be. Okay. So now the same you are representing, you are taking for nominal T network, right? If you develop for this nominal T network also, the old equations what you will get here is in place of yz you will get y dash and z dash. That is the only difference. Okay. So if you are getting any confusion, so then you can develop the equations itself. Okay. Right. So now again you have to take the exact solution of your long transmission line. So which are represented in the matrix form as VSIS is equal to cos h gamma L ZC sin h gamma L sin h gamma L by ZC cos h gamma L into VRIR. Okay. So now again you compare 7 and 8 equations. So then, so when you compare 7 and 8 equations, so what you will get. So you compare 7 and 8 equations. So in 7th equation, so y dash is the C value. Okay. Y dash is equal to this sin h gamma L by ZC. Okay. So y dash is equal to sin h gamma L by ZC. Let you call it as 9th equation. So in the similar manner, so this A value, which is 1 plus y dash z dash by 2 is equal to this value, cos h gamma L. Okay. That is represented in the 10th equation. 1 plus y dash by 2 is equal to cos h gamma L. Okay. Right. So now you take the 9th equation, which is y dash is equal to 1 by ZC sin h gamma L. Okay. So now you have to repeat the same procedure for the what we were discussing in the previous case. Okay. So you take that equation, then 1 by ZC is nothing but underscore root y by z. Okay. ZC is underscore root z by y. So 1 by ZC is underscore root small y by small z into sin h gamma L. Okay. So now again numerator and denominator is multiplied by gamma L here. Okay. So now after multiplying that with gamma L, right? You take outside sin h gamma L by gamma L. So then what are the remaining parameters? So these two you take outside and in a square bracket. Okay, sin h gamma L by gamma L. So now the remaining terms are this square root small y by z multiplied by this gamma L, and gamma here is root yz. Okay, into L. Okay, again these two terms are taken into one square root. Then you will get only z will get cancelled and you will get y square, and your y square which is under square root. So that square and that value that square root will get cancelled. You will be having only y. So that y into L you will get. Okay, y into L into sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay, so here also gamma is represented with root yz. Okay, so but you can represent this as also gamma. Okay, so now here is yl. What is yl? Capital Y. Okay, so yl can be written as capital Y into sin h gamma L by gamma L we have. Okay, so now you got the y dash parameter, which is 10th parameter. Okay, so in here in equivalent T network of your long transmission line, you have to calculate the two parameters, which are y dash and z dash by 2. Okay, so this y dash value you got. So this is equal to y into sin h gamma L by gamma L. Okay, right. In a similar case, similar manner, you calculate the y dash by 2 also. Okay, so now let us calculate the y dash by 2. For calculating this y dash by 2, you substitute 9 in 10th equation. Okay, so 9th equation is y dash is equal to sin h gamma L by ZC. So this is substituted here. Okay, 10th equation. Then what you will get? 1 plus 1 by 2 into, in case of y dash, you have to write 1 by ZC into sin h gamma L into ZC. So which is totally equal to sin cos h gamma L. Okay, so see here. So when you substitute the 9th equation in 10th equation, you will get this equation. So 1 plus 1 by 2 into, in place of y, you are going to substitute 1 by zc into sin h gamma l into z dash is equal to cos h gamma l. Okay. Here also you require z dash by 2. Okay. So here z dash in the numerator and 2 is in the denominator. You take these 2 only. So the remaining term you keep it, you bring back to this right side. So then z dash by 2 will be equal to zc into cos h gamma l minus 1 by sin h gamma l you will get. Right. So now again this equation can be written as in terms of tan h gamma l by 2. Okay. Right. So after getting this equation, in place of zc, you can write underscore it small z by y, right, into tan h gamma l by 2. Now again, this is multiplied with numerator and denominator as gamma l by 2, gamma l by 2. Okay. So now you take this tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2 as in one square bracket, and the remaining term you write. So the remaining terms are underscore it y by z into gamma l by 2 you are having. Okay. So then what is gamma? In place of gamma, you can write root yz. Okay. So if you write root yz, again, if you do some calculation, that means y will get cancelled, z you will have, right? So only z you will get, so that z l by 2 you will be having. Okay, z l by 2 into tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. So here in place of z, you can write as z l, you can write capital Z. Okay. So the value of z dash by 2 is equal to z by 2 into tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. Okay. So like this, you can calculate the z dash by 2 values in nominal, equivalent t of your long transmission. Okay. We got two parameters in equivalent t representation, y dash value and z dash by 2 value. So y dash is equal to capital Y into sin h gamma l by gamma l, and z dash by 2 is equal to z by 2 into tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. Okay. So from those two equations, so here in 11th equation is y dash value and 12th equation is y z dash by 2 value. So now you compare these two equations with nominal pi network. Okay. See here. So your y dash is y into sin h gamma l by 2, and z dash by 2 is z by 2 into tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. Now if you write the nominal pi, which is for medium transmission line, which is in the nominal, not nominal pi, nominal t. Okay. So in nominal t method, this is z by 2, and this is z by 2, and this is y. Okay. So now this network is the, so this network is the equivalentity of a long transmission. Now if you compare these two parameters, this and this, right, to get the y dash value, you are going to multiply that y value, so right, with the sin h gamma l by gamma l. Okay. So that means this is the term you have to multiply with this y value to get the y dash value. So what is y value? Y value is the shunt parameter of this nominal t. Okay. So if you multiply the shunt admittance of nominal t by this factor sin h gamma l by 2 by gamma l2, so then you will get the y dash parameter of equivalency. Okay. In a similar way, if you take the z by 2 and z dash by 2, now this z dash by 2 you are getting by multiplying this z by 2 with the tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2. So that means, so if you multiply the series impedance of nominal t, so which is z by 2. Okay. For nominal t, the series impedance is z by 2. Right. So now if you multiply this z by 2 with a constant, with a factor tan h gamma l by 2 by gamma l by 2, then you will get the series parameter of your equivalency. The series parameter of equivalency is y z dash by 2. Okay. Are you understood? If you having the nominal t network parameter, you can calculate the equivalent t network parameters. Okay. Right. right, ma? So these are the representation of your long transmission line by using equivalent pi and equivalent p model. Okay. So till now, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me. If you are not having any doubts, we proceed with one problem. Okay, right. Let us see the problem. So a 50 Hz transmission line, which is 300 kilometers long, has a total series impedance of 40 plus J125 ohms and total shunt admittance of 10 power minus 3 mho. Okay, the receiving end load is 50 megawatts at 220 kilovolts with 0.8 lagging power factor. Then find the sending end voltage and sending end current, sending end power and power factor using the short line approximation, nominal pi method and the exact transmission line equation. Okay, so in this third module, till now we were discussed about the short transmission line, medium transmission line and long transmission line. Okay, so this short and medium transmission line, okay, those are analyzed by taking the network to be lumped, and for long you are considered as a distributed. Okay, so exact transmission line equation is nothing but this is for long transmission. Okay, so the long transmission line is analyzed by considering the network, the transmission line network as a distributed network. So which is actually the case. Okay, your transmission line actually is the distributed network. So, but in case of short and medium, the analysis was done by considering this distributed as a lumped one. So the values what you are calculated by using short and medium transmission lines are the not the exact values. Okay, as you are assuming the lumped network, the transmission line, then you are analyzing short and medium. So the values what you are getting from the short and medium case will be not the accurate values, not the exact value. So, but while analyzing the long transmission line, we were not lumped the parameters, right? So we were considered the long transmission line as a distributed parameter, and you have done the analysis for long transmission. So the solution what you are getting from a long transmission line is the exact solution. Okay. So here in this problem, you are going to do all the methods now. So if you do the short transmission line approximation method, how you will get the values. So if you do the nominal pi method is for medium transmission. So then how you will get the values of sending end voltage, current, power and power factor. So now if you use the exact transmission line solution, then how you will get the values. So now then you compare the results and you can comment on that. Okay, right. So if you see the problem, here this problem is a 300 kilometers long transmission line. That means length of the transmission line L value is given as 300 kilometers. Okay. And here also mentioned total series impedance. Total series impedance is capital Z. So that capital Z value is 40 plus J125 ohms. Okay. Capital Z is equal to 40 plus J125 ohms. Now, if you represent in polar form, you will get 131.2, which is at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Okay, the impedance units are ohms. Now, also given total shunt admittance. Total shunt admittance is represented with capital Y. So that capital Y value is 10 power minus 3 mho. Okay, so 10 power minus 3 mho. So now, so this value is 10 power minus 3 mho. So now, if you represent this value with in polar form, you will be having 10 power minus 3, which is at an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, so this is center admittance. And also given that the load is 50 megawatts and at 220 kilowatts with a 0.8 lagging power factor. So that means the transmission line is connected with one load, right? So now this load is 50 megawatts. This load is 50 megawatts and the voltage across the load is 220 kilovolts and power factor of the load is 0.8 lagging. Okay, so that means they were giving the receiving end voltage itself. So receiving end voltage is 200 kilovolts. So now from this data, you can calculate the current flowing through the load, so which we call it as a receiving end current. Okay, so receiving end current, as you know, the power. So power at the receiving end is equal to VR into IR cos phi r. This is the case for single phase transmission. So now it is for the three phase transmission line. Here you will get the PR is equal to √3 times VR IR cos phi r, and VR and IR are the line parameters. Okay, so line voltage and line current. Okay, so now as this is a three phase transmission line, you have to take this equation, which is PR is equal to √3 VR IR cos phi r. So from this value, you can calculate IR is equal to, so that IR value is equal to PR by underscore root √3 into VR in √3 into VR into cos phi r. So you know the all parameters. So PR is 50 megawatts, and by √3 VR value is receiving end voltage is 220 kilovolts, and cos phi r value is 0.8. Okay. Now, if you substitute all the values, so then you will get the IR value. So that IR value is equal to 0.164 is the 164 in kiloamps. Okay. So now here, if you represent in actually this is the magnitude. Okay, this is magnitude. If you want to have the angle also, how you can represent? So what we are calculated here is the magnitude of IR. So magnitude of IR is equal to PR by √3 VR into cos phi r. Okay. If you do this, you will get that value. So that value is 0.164 kiloamperes. Okay, or you can say 164 amperes, right? So when if you have the magnitude, so then how you can represent the polar form of this IR? Okay, IR with the magnitude and angle. How you can? Now for this, you have to consider your VR as your reference. Okay, so when you consider VR as your reference, so then IR will be lagging the VR by phi r. So IR will be lagging the VR as the load is lagging load. So IR will be lagging the VR by at an angle phi r. So this phi r will be calculated from this power factor. Power factor value is given. So that means cos phi r value is given. So you can calculate the phi r value. Cos phi r is equal to 0.8. So the phi r value is 36.9 degrees. Okay. So now if you represent IR in polar form, so then that IR value is equal to magnitude of IR value, magnitude of IR, which is at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Minus is why you are taking minus? The load is lagging. So IR angle is negative. Okay. So this is directly taken here. Okay, that IR value is equal to magnitude of IR at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. So the magnitude of IR is 0.164 kiloamps, and the angle is minus 36.9 degrees. Okay, this is by taking VR as the reference. Okay, so then what is VR given? VR is given as the 220 kilovolts. This is the line voltage. So now if you convert into the phase voltage, then this must be divided with √3. Okay. So VR phase value of VR is equal to 220 by √3. Now as this is the reference, the angle for this will be 0 degrees. Okay. So then VR per phase value is 127 at an angle of 0 degrees in kilovolts. Okay. So here in kiloamperes. Right. Now, after calculating a VR, IR, and after knowing the Z and total impedance, capital Z, capital Y, then you can calculate the sending end voltage and sending end current, and as well as power and power factor also by using these three methods, which is short line approximation, nominal pi, and exact pi. So let us take the first case. Okay. So first case is the short line approximation, right? So for a short line, for short transmission line network, if your voltage and current are represented in the form of a matrix form, so now this is the equation. Now, while analyzing the short transmission line, you developed this equation, so which is in the form of matrix form. VSIS is equal to 1Z 01 VRIR. This is for short transmission line. Okay, so from this matrix form, you can write VS as your VR plus IR into Z. Okay, VS can be written as VR plus IR into Z. Now you know the values of VR, you know the value of IR, and you know the value of total impedance capital Z also. Okay, all the parameters of the right hand side of this equation are known values. So you can calculate the sending end voltage Vs by simply multiplying all the values. VR value is 127 at an angle of 0 degrees. So 0 degrees angle may be represented or may not be represented. So VR value is 127 plus IR value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees, and Z value is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Right? So if you calculate that value, then Vs value, what you are getting here is 145 at an angle of 4.9 degrees. Okay, 145 is the magnitude of voltage and 4.9 degrees is the angle from the reference. Okay, so that means your reference is your VR. So the angle 4.9, you are having plus 4.9. So this Vs will be leading the VR by an angle of 4.9. So this is Vs, and this Vs magnitude is 145 kilovolts. Okay. So now this is for per phase value. Okay. Now if you calculate the line value of sending end voltage, so that line value is for getting line value, you have to multiply this phase value with root 3. So that means 145 into root 3. Okay. So then you will get the line value of sending end voltage, which is 251.2 kilovolts. So which is magnitude. So magnitude of sending end voltage. So if you take angle also, this angle will be also 4.9 degrees. Okay. So this is the magnitude of sending end voltage. Now, what is the sending end current? So now from this equation, sending end current is equal to receiving end current. Okay. For short transmission line, you are not going to consider the capacitance. Okay. Capacitance value is neglected. So sending end current, receiving end current, both are same. Okay. That sending end current is equal to receiving end current, which is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees, which is in kiloamperes. Okay. You got the sending end voltage and current. And along with that, what are the other parameters you have to calculate? Sending end current and sending end voltage. After calculating them, power and power factor also they were asked. Okay. So now you calculate the sending end power factor. Okay. So now how you can calculate the sending end power factor? So sending end power factor is cos phi a. Yes. Cos phi s. So what is this phi s value? Okay. You have to calculate it. Right. So now you simply draw the VR, which is the reference value, and your Vs is at an angle of 4.9 degrees. This is Vs value. Okay. So what is your Is is this value. Okay. Here you are having Vs. Here you are having Is. Okay. So this Is value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. That means this side you will get Is value. IS is at an angle of 36.9 degrees. As it is a negative sign, you have to draw the below reference. Okay, this vector IS will be drawn below the reference as it is lagging. So now, what is phi s? Phi s is the angle between Vs and Is. So this total angle. Okay, so now this total angle is your phi s value. So the phi s is equal to 36.9 degrees plus 4.9 degrees. Okay, so cos phi s is equal to cos of that phi s value is 4.9 degrees plus 36.9 degrees, which is equal to 41.80 degrees. Okay, so that means cos 41.8 degrees is 0.745 lagging. Okay, so the sending end power factor is 0.745 lagging. Right. So then what is the power, sending end power? If you know the sending end voltage and the sending end current, you can calculate simply by multiplying √3. So sending end power, PS is equal to √3 into Vs into Is into cos phi s. Okay, so √3, Vs value is line value 251.2 and Is value is 0.164 and phi s value, cos phi s value is 0.745. So then if you substitute all the values, you will get the sending end power, which is 53.2 megawatts. Okay. Now we were calculated all the parameters what were asked in the problem by using short line approximation. Now let us take the second method, which is nominal pi method. Okay, nominal pi method, which is used for medium transmission lines. Now the voltage and sending end voltage and current which are expressed in the form of receiving end voltage and receiving current as like this in the matrix form. So Vs Is is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2 Z y into 1 plus Yz by 4 and 1 plus Yz by 2 into VRIR. So this is the representation of your nominal pi method in the matrix form. Okay. Right. From this, what you can write for Vs? Vs is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2 into Vr plus Z into IR. In a similar manner, Is is equal to y into 1 plus Yz by 4 into Vr plus 1 plus Yz by 2 into IR will get. Okay. So from this equation, you will get the values of Vs and Is. Okay. Right. So now here first you have to calculate these parameters 1 plus Yz by 2, 1 plus Yz by 4 into multiplied by 5. Okay. You calculate them. All right. So if you see the value of A and D for nominal pi method will be the same. So which is equal to 1 plus Yz by 2. Okay. So now here in the given problem, capital Y and capital Z values both are given. So you simply multiply that value. Okay. Y is 10 power minus 3, which is at an angle of 90 degrees, and Z is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Okay. So then if you do the calculations, then you will get the value of A or D as 0.938, which is at an angle of 1.2 degrees. Okay. Now you got the A and D values. Now what is B? So B here is Z value. Okay. If you observe this equation, B is your Z. B is equal to Z, capital Z only. So that Z value directly given in the problem, which is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Okay. Right. After getting A value, B value, and D value also, what is C value? C is equal to Y into 1 plus Yz by 2. Okay. C is equal to 1 plus Y into 1 plus Yz by 4. Okay. So now this can be written as Y into Y square Z by 4. Okay. Here also you know the capital Y and capital Z values. Again you multiply. Sorry. Again you substitute. Then you will get the value of C. So that value of C is 0.001 at an angle of 90 degrees. Okay. So now you got all the values, A, B, C, D parameters. Okay. So you can calculate Vs as A into Vr plus B into IR. And you know the value of A. So the value of A is here 0.938 at an angle 1.2 degrees. And you know the value of B, which is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. And you know the value of VR, which is per phase value. So you are calculated already. So VS value is this one, 127 for VR value. VR value is 127. IR value is 0.164 at an angle of 36.9 degrees. Okay. So you know the all values, A value, B value, VR value, IR value also, you know, right? Now if you simply multiply, simply substitute all the values, you will get sending end voltage. Okay. So that sending end voltage is equal to A value, which is 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees, into VR is 127, plus B value is 131.2 at an angle 72.3 degrees, into IR value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Okay. Now, if you substitute all the values, then VS value, what you are getting here is 137.4 at an angle of 6.2 degrees. Okay. This value is the phase value. Now, if you want to calculate the line value, so line value, magnitude of sending end voltage, which is a line value, is equal to 137.4 into root 3. Okay, this magnitude you have to multiply with root 3 to get the line value. So then sending end line voltage you are getting is 238 kilovolts. Okay, right. So after getting the sending end voltage, we can also calculate the sending end current. Okay, so sending end current IS. So that IS value is equal to C into VR plus D into IR. Okay, so that C value here is this one, so which is calculated as 0.001 at an angle of 90 degrees, and D value is, which is equal to A, this one, 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees, and VR value is 127, IR is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. So now also all values in the right hand side of your IS equation is known. So you calculate the IS by simply substituting those values. IS is equal to C into VR, and C value is 0.001 at an angle of 90 degrees, and VR value is 127, plus D value is 0.938, which is at an angle of 1.2 degrees, and IR value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Okay. Now if you calculate this total value, the sending end current IS value, what you are getting here is 0.13 at an angle of 16.5 degrees. Okay, so you got the sending end voltage and sending end current. Okay, sending end voltage is 137.4 at an angle of 6.2 degrees, and sending end current value is 0.13 at an angle of 16.5 degrees. Now see here, these angles 6.2 degrees, 16.5 degrees are with respect to your reference. Okay, that means your reference is VR. Okay, with reference to this reference, these are the angles. Okay, so your sending end voltage, if you represent, VS value is at an angle of 6.2 degrees. So that means angle between your VS and the reference is 6.2. And then IS is at an angle of 16.5 degrees. So see here, here you are getting plus sign. Okay, that means your IS is leading the reference, right? So that means this side you have to take plus values, and below reference you have to take minus values, negative angles. Okay, as you are having here 16.5 degrees which is a positive value, so this side you will get IS. So your IS is at an angle of 16.5 degrees. Okay, so now what is the phi s value? Phi s is the angle between your VS and IS. So that means this angle is your phi s. Okay, so that means this angle phi s is equal to 16.5 degrees minus 6.2 degrees. Okay, 16.5 degrees minus 6.2 degrees. So this is the angle between VS and VIS, which is phi s value. So you can calculate the power factor angle cos phi s. So power factor cos phi s is equal to cos of this total angle 16.5 degrees minus 6.2. So see here, sending end power factor, which is cos phi s is equal to cos of 16.5 degrees minus 6.2 degrees. So you are getting 0.984. Here it is leading. Okay, so your current is leading. So the power factor is also leading power factor. Okay, right. After getting the sending end voltage, sending end current, and power factor, you can calculate the power. Sending end power P is equal to √3 times Vs Is cos phi s. Okay, so √3 times Vs Is cos phi s is your power factor angle. Sorry, total power at the sending end. Okay, so here you see here when you are taking a √3, so then this Vs and Is are the line values. Okay, so that means Vs line value is 238. So Is here line value and phase value both are same, which is 0.13. Okay, so cos phi s is 0.984. Okay, so then the sending end power what we are getting here is 52.7 degrees. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the sending end voltage, current, power factor, and power by using nominal T method, nominal pi method, so which is for median transmission. Okay, then you use the exact transmission line equation, which is the rigorous solution. Now, if you take the exact solution of your transmission line, the exact solution is nothing but you have to consider the Lang transmission line solution, which is this one. So if you represent Vs and Is in terms of in matrix form, so that can be written as Vs Is is equal to cos h gamma L Zc into sin h gamma L sin h gamma L by Zc cos h gamma L into VRIR. Okay, sorry, it's already time up. Okay. So I will take only 2 minutes. So okay. So now here gamma L you calculate. Gamma L value can be written as gamma is a complex number alpha plus j beta. So if you multiply with that with L, you will get alpha L plus j beta L. Okay. So this value is root yz.